and welcome back to another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies, where I specialize in telling the truth.
Legal lies.
And my cohorts actually specialize in not knowing what the hell is going on, except for Becky, who does know. Dan does not. My name's Just Dan. Shut up. My name's Just Dan, and you can follow me at I Tell Legal Lies on Twitter. You can follow the show across all social media platforms at Black Law Podcast.
All right, you've been talking too long. And
what?
I am co-ho number one.
You are a ho.
I'm co-ho number one, Dan. You can catch me on Twitter and IG at I am Dan on drugs.
And strap in, everybody, for another adventure with Afro Becky.
And today we have a special guest with us, straight from Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Ain't that how they say it? Baton Rouge?
I don't know. I don't live in Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's just going to go by the name Number 43. We'd like to welcome you to the show, Number 43.
Really? Why the dude gotta be number 43?
That's his number. He number 43, right?
Okay, yes he is.
Okay, number 43.
Why you gotta put the man out there like that?
We ain't trying to put his name out there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do today is we're going to have a continuation of a conversation that we started earlier about black businesses. Now, it's no secret that a lot of us like to publicly say we support each other. We support black businesses, right? We even did a couple of episodes that was focused on
black
helping
entrepreneurship.
black people become entrepreneurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, there are a lot of our contemporaries that don't necessarily subscribe to frequenting or even using black businesses, right?
Including Dan.
No. Well, we'll get into me.
Dude, don't.
We'll get into me.
This.
We'll get into me. I want to start with the story, and then we're gonna bring our guest in on this. Okay. Here's the story. So we have a friend. His name is Handiman, right? His AC unit went out, stopped working. So he said, I'm going to call Brother Man to come look at it, Brother Man to fix it, right? Because my people's going to look out for me, right? Brother Man came to look at his AC, said, oh, shit, you need a new compressor. So he was like, damn, how much is that going to cost? $1,500 for the compressor. And then probably another $700 to install it. So we talking $2,200, right?
Right.
So Handyman was like, fuck, man, that's just my luck. I just bought this brand new unit 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Right.
So he said, well, let me go ahead and see if I can get a second opinion. So he called the white man, right? The white man rolled up, looked at bruh man's AC unit and said, oh, your run capacitor is dead. That's all that is. $26.
Oh, that's how much the part was. $26.
And
$50 to install.
And what's crazy is, bruh, the black business that he hired to come out there and look at his shit, they removed the run capacitor from his AC unit completely and hid it behind his AC unit. The other dude, the white man, found it. It's
the
like,
box,
why is this just laying here like this?
Yep, found the old one.
So this same person also, he has a black dentist, right? Had a black dentist who ended up fucking his teeth up and costing him thousands and thousands of dollars. Always got into altercations with the front desk. What was the other one? There was a third one.
These are your stories.
Okay. These are Handyman stories. Shout out to Handyman for being brave enough to step forward with these stories. So basically what he said today was, I will not trust a black person to do anything for me. Handyman is black too, mind you. I will not trust a black person to do anything for me unless they are supervised or working for a white person.
See, and that is a product of his experiences.
Right.
But that is not or does not mean that black businesses should not be frequented and that there are not black people out there who actually are honest and know what they're doing. Because guess what? Just like he had all these experiences with black people, he has had similar experiences with white people. There's a white dentist that messed his teeth up. Okay?
That's because he went to the free clinic, though.
Now, I'm saying.
He went to LSU dental school.
But they're dental students. They were being trained to be dentists.
Mm-hmm.
And still, this was a white person that messed his teeth up. That was almost graduating. That you are in the dental school doing these clinicals when you are almost about to graduate. They don't let like first year dental students work in that clinic.
Okay.
So as I said, he has had experiences with the white people messing over him too. It's not about your color. It's about
your work ethic,
who you are.
Okay.
Period.
So
So black, white, because let me tell you something. Bernie Madoff swindled thousands of people. White
for
man.
millions of dollars.
White man. Just to let you know. Name me one black broker who swindled.
Wait, why you gotta say broker?
That swindled.
I can name a black person. So, okay, anyway, in the sake of having a guest on the show, let's bring our guest in on this. Number 43, would you trust a black business to do something that is critical, such as mechanical, AC, or even medical?
I definitely would, but I would do my research as well.
Okay, now being that it's okay to say he's an athlete, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, being that you're an athlete, I'm sure you've worked with numerous trainers and doctors, right? In your experience, how many of them are people of color?
Not many. I haven't really come across many colored medical staff.
Colored, man. What is this? The 1960s? Color?
He said color. So
He said people of color, fool. Color?
Black people.
Damn. You just set us back 100 years.
Since my time here, I probably had, 1, 2, 3 black students that were in the program that helped us out during the season and stuff like that. But everybody else was different, everybody else wasn't, black.
Man, so we have a small sample size here.
Exactly.
Well, I guess
the question that you asked previously is a good one. And what number 43 said was he would trust a black person to do mechanical or medical work, but he would do his research, which is what is at the crux of this. Before you do anything, regardless of what color the professional person is or the lay person is, you need to research. Like, don't go to Becky and them. Don't go to Billy and them. Don't go to Tyrone and them unless you know what kind of work Tyrone, Becky, and Billy does.
Becky, you were about to say something?
Why it gotta be Becky?
Oh, man. Look, okay, so let's bring Becky in now. Now, let me ask you this, right?
Uh-huh.
In your experience, how has your experience dealing with black businesses or black professionals been?
I can say my experience has been varied, but my most negative experience was with a black corporation.
Okay. And which corporation is that?
Well, it wasn't a corporation. It was a university.
Oh, Dillard University.
Yeah.
HBCU. Okay, yeah. So basically what they did was they stole all the money and they made the employees take pay cuts because $6 million was missing from a black accountant.
But guess what?
Shout out to our brother Jaden Hollywood, who is not a thief.
Once again, you have seen that happen at white universities.
Absolutely.
Guess what? Recently, bunch of white folks paid a white person to get their white children in some, Yale, Harvard,
Stanford,
USC,
right?
Stanford. We're talking about elite schools. So criminality does not have a color. It runs the spectrum. Incompetence does not have a color. It runs the spectrum. Anybody can be incompetent.
Now, let me tell you, though, this is just something that my grandmother told me. So my grandfather, he passed away of a heart attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got wheeled into the ER, went back there, passed away. My grandmother, still to this day, will tell you that, and I think I even told the story before on the show, that if he would have had a white doctor, he would have lived. So that,
but you know what?
That's how our people look. But we still jump out here and we say, support black businesses, support your brothers and sisters out here. But it's all talk because not a lot of us are doing it. It's cultural,
and it's because it stems from Jim Crow and things of that nature. Well, not necessarily Jim Crow, because even in Jim Crow, you frequented black businesses, black doctors, black stores, black bars. That was trust there. Black teachers, black doctors.
It wasn't necessarily trust. It's I didn't have a choice.
Right. Now that you have a choice.
And a lot of the training, they didn't have the same training as their white counterparts. When you look at a black doctor during the Jim Crow era.
A black doctor came up with
heart surgery,
open heart surgery.
Yeah. No, there's your anomalies, but he's an anomaly. Whereas for the most part,
that's not an anomaly. But you see what you're saying.
No. Okay.
No.
I'm listening.
What you are saying.
You should let me finish saying that first, but go ahead.
No, what you just said, just that part right there, he's an anomaly.
Yes. Anybody who comes up with open heart surgery is a fucking anomaly.
He was not an anomaly. Black people are very smart.
Yes, we are.
Built pyramids, people.
The Egyptians did, but yes, I agree.
Wait, where is Egypt?
That's the south.
Motherfucker.
I think it's south of here.
Oh
Egypt is in Africa. Just to let you know, we have great minds in.
I'm not saying we don't. See, what you're doing is you're trying to take a fine-tooth comb over everything I'm saying,
take a fine-tooth
because
comb.
Anybody who comes up with open heart surgery is an anomaly.
1,000% find offensive what you and Handiman and the rest.
No, let me say what I'm saying. See,
say what you're saying.
What I'm saying is anybody who comes up with open heart surgery is an anomaly. There's just no question about that. Anybody who builds a spaceship is an anomaly, because that's not shit that everyday people can do.
Wait, that's why they have astrophysicists.
Right, but back in Jim Crow, they did not have. That's why they have
engineers.
Right, but we're talking in Jim Crow.
Wait, you ever saw Hidden Figures?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so guess what? That happened in Jim Crow, and guess what? Those ladies.
Okay, that was a bad example.
It wasn't.
Okay, here's one.
Those ladies were mathematicians.
Okay, the person
and they worked for NASA, and they're the reason why we went to the moon. Hello,
the person who invented the internet, that invented social media, the dude Jack who made Twitter. Okay, if he would have did that in the 1960s, I would have been fucking impressed. But
you know
what I'm saying is, people who do things and think outside the box, they are anomalies. Yes, for me, I am a musical genius.
Hell nah, you are not an anomaly.
I'm a musical genius. Wait, do we still have our guest? I can't hear him no more.
Our guest called failed, so we no longer have.
Damn, guest only speaks for like 2 minutes. Number 43, thank you for calling in to WW Black Law. But no, you are like I forgot where I'm going, because now we're doing semantics, but
it's not semantics.
The training is what I was getting at. The level of training that our people had in the time of Jim Crow is not the same training as white people had. And when I say that, nigga, we couldn't read. We weren't allowed. We legally weren't allowed to read. So if we're legally not allowed to read, how the hell are we going to be as trained as a white professional?
And you see, and this is where that whole schism comes in at. Because just because we were in different universities or we were in different places did not mean that the education that we received was not as relevant. It was.
But not everybody had access to it.
Exactly. That is 100% true.
Which makes more people, not more people, but makes it
But we're
It's
talking
rarer
about,
for these black anomalies to come out.
But we're talking about 2019.
2019.
Where everyone has access to education. And
Correct.
the same education for the most part. And we're talking about 2019 where Handiman and Dan literally...
Don't let me speak for myself.
Handiman and Dan, you don't let anybody else speak for themselves. You talk for me all the time because, and you said, and I recall, and this is what you said. Anyway.
That was different because I'm going to insert clips of what you said.
Handiman and Dan frequently in the office, oh, I ain't going there. She black. So picture, true story. Our coworker has her primary care physician. They found out that the primary care physician's name was Shakeita.
Who is a great doctor.
So no.
doctor.
Let me finish.
Oh, I'm gonna let, but I'm just letting the people. I'm just letting people know. Dr. Shakeita is a great doctor.
How do you know?
Because Handyman's client stole him.
Anyway, like
who works for Humana.
So here we are. They find out that the primary care physician's name is Shakeita, and so the joke in the office was, "Ooh, you can go get a mammogram and get your hair permed,
get your edges snatched."
You know? So and this is honestly the way they think. It's like, just because her name is Shakeita, she can't be competent.
No.
So then,
no one ever said that.
So then, fast forward, the conversation is, oh yeah, I had a good report about Dr. Shakeita. My client who works for Humana said that Dr. Shakeita, everybody raves about her. She's a great doctor, X, Y, and Z. Thing is, they still wouldn't go to Dr. Shakeita because her name is Shakeita and she's black.
Well, let me jump in here and tell you why I personally would not go to Dr. Shakeita, because Dr. Shakeita's on the North Shore. That's why I wouldn't go. But no, we do find her name.
Even if Dr. Shakeita was in Metairie, you still wouldn't go.
We do find her name.
Oh wait, hold up. You didn't.
Let me finish what I was saying before you interrupted.
No, you didn't answer the question.
That's because you asked the question as I was speaking. So, Dr. Shakeita, we do find the name funny, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find any black person out here that doesn't find humor in a Dr. Shakeita. That's like a Dr. Medea. Medea goes to medical school.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, look, Becky over here laughing.
No.
But
I have several friends named Shakeita.
Oh, me too.
So.
Me too. I got Kiki. I got Keita.
I never heard of these people.
Kiki was on the damn show.
You listed a couple other names that I don't recognize.
Keita.
We have our guest.
Andy's back.
Hello, number 43.
Man, see, number 43, you done missed all the action, bruh. What
happened?
Answer your question, right? Would I go to a black doctor? Yes, and let me tell you why.
I said if Dr. Shakeita
no, I would not go to Dr. Shakeita.
In Metairie, you wouldn't go to Dr. Shakeita.
I would not.
I said. Why?
But because I don't need a primary care physician right now.
What if she was a sports doctor?
I don't play sports.
What if she was a psychiatrist?
Now that's where I'm going. I actually want a black psychiatrist, psychologist or therapist, absolutely, because sometimes so I absolutely want a black therapist, psychologist, because sometimes it takes us to know us, right? Some of my struggles that I go through with mental illness, it's no secret that I have a mental illness,
you're
right?
Crazy. We know.
And I am currently seeing a psychiatrist who is of Middle Eastern descent, maybe Indian. I don't know. But we looked for a black therapist, a black psychiatrist. There was one that I found that I actually wanted to see. She didn't take insurance because, again, with the broken mental health care system, it's a cash-only business. So I would rather go sit down and talk to a person of color, a black person who can understand my struggles, can understand the shit that I'm going through. Yes, my pain, that understands me
All right, so you would go to Dr. Shakeita.
Yes, if she was a therapist or a psychologist, yes. Would I still make fun of her name? Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, bring number 43 in on this.
Do you think, I have one question. Do you think you would go to her if she was a psychiatrist, or just go to her in like period just because of her nationality, like her being part of the Black community where she can understand where you're coming from based off of like society and how society looks at Black folks or, treats Black folks nowadays? Is that part of the reason why?
Absolutely. That's actually the reason why. Because
so why not do the same as far as your primary care physician? Because, I mean, our physiology, for the most part, and I was about to say in our pharmacology, but no. But, you talk about diseases that affect people of color. And you talk about
high blood pressure, diabetes.
Takes us to know us, right? So why not have a person of color as your primary care physician?
Because I'm currently happy with my primary care physician.
No. So, but you said you would not go to a Black doctor as a primary care physician.
I said I wasn't looking for one.
Okay, so would you?
If I were looking for one.
If you were looking for a primary care physician, would you go to a person of color? And don't lie.
Absolutely. Let me tell you right now, Dr. Barry. You know Dr. Barry?
No.
Dr. Barry Pierre. He's out of Florida. Also has a podcast, Lunch and Learn with Dr. Barry. I would not hesitate. He's an internist, but I would not hesitate to go see Dr. Barry if he was in New Orleans.
Yep.
Yep.
You look like you genuinely believe what you said.
I do.
Anyway.
I do. So, man, bring number 43 on. Let's get some of his hot takes on.
All right, number 43. So earlier you said, yes, you would go to Black doctors. You would actually use other Black professionals. Why?
I mean, I don't discriminate on who's going to help me. Like, they're going to help me, they're going to help me. So, I mean, I just feel like, why not support Black businesses? I mean, a lot of people, a lot of doctors and a lot of people go through a lot of stuff just to get where they are nowadays, dealing with the Black community. We're discriminated, amongst a lot of
ourselves.
People. Like ourselves even. There's a lot of competition in that field, and I just feel like, why not? Like, why not go support that person? I'm pretty sure they've come a long way and went through a lot of stuff just to get to where they are. So I mean, I feel like that's a reward, just being able to go over there and support those type of people. And I'm pretty sure that with all of that, discrimination and stuff like that, they have to be on top of their game 10 times harder than anybody else. So I'm pretty sure they're,
what he just said is 1,000% true. You have to be 500% better than the next person. And what's really crazy about that? Black women, and I'm sure Becky could chime in and agree with me on this one. Black men have it 500 times. They have to be 500 times better.
Objection.
Black women
leading.
Black women have to be 1,000 times. No leading. Let me tell you.
No. When you say Becky can agree with me,
I'm sure that Becky will agree with me. I'm not leading. I'm just stating my opinion of what I think Becky would say. It's not leading. Anyway, and just to let you know, that is fact, because we have disparities as far as income between male and female. So you think about that, Black women, white male, white female.
May I interject?
Please.
I can guarantee you right now. Okay, so we have 2 men in this conversation and 2 women, right?
Oh Jesus!
You
know what?
No,
you know what?
I'm talking about
in general because I know where you're going. But go ahead.
I can guarantee you that one of you women make more money than me and number 43 combined.
Damn, Becky balling like that.
Becky balling like that, cuz.
She balling.
Damn, Beck, you balling like that? Damn.
You too. You make more money than me. Both of y'all make more money than me and number 43.
Damn. Beck, damn.
Yeah.
So I say that to say that the pay disparity, all black women that I know, not all of them, let me take that back. Most black women that I know make more money than me.
Okay, but we're talking, you're being specific in our little corner of the world, but we're talking globally.
So, okay.
So when the big picture, when you bring in the big picture in the United States, gender, there is a disparity in income based on gender.
It's been speculated, yes.
No, it's not speculation, it's fact. And so when you add in the fact that, okay, not only is there a disparity from male to female, when you add black as a factor, the disparity grows.
So I want to shift gears a little bit in our conversation. It's still going to be about patronizing black businesses. I remember Dan and I watched a show that Killer Mike did where he tried to basically live black, meaning everything that he ate, everything he wore, all his hygiene products, everything that he used would be produced solely by black people.
Right.
This man ended up hungry and sleeping on a
park bench, yes. Because
hungry.
The food, even in the black grocery store, the food was from either white people or the packaging, the containers was from white folks. He found it almost impossible.
That's correct.
And I think what he did was a stretch, because I don't think that you can find any one ethnicity
solely
and survive just off of that, because the Chinese, we got Americans, we got the Mexicans. But it was an eye opener, and he also did the Cripa-Cola, and that's actually for sale now. You can actually buy it. Yeah, you can shout to Johnny and Ralph. They actually did a taste test online. You can, I think it's on their IG at Oversaturated the Pod. But yeah, he took some gang members.
The Bloods and the Crips.
I saw that one. I loved what he did. I love what he did.
Me too. Well, only thing, so this is the problem. The Hells Angels. I honestly don't know much about the Hells Angels at all. But according to Killer Mike, they're a biker gang.
They are.
So that makes them no different than Bloods or Crips. And the Bloods and Crips, they were formed or started. Again, this might be revisionist history, because I'm not in the gang culture like that. Shout out to my set 301670. But no, I'm not in the gang culture. But they were there to protect their communities. The Bloods were there
when they started.
They were descendants, I want to say, of the Black Panther Party, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, I don't know. That might be revisionist, but I don't know.
From my understanding is, once the Black Panther Party disbanded, you had different groups that had different views.
Ideology.
Yeah. So the Bloods protected their neighborhood. They did school supplies for the children. We had a problem with police killing us. It's same as 2019. So they were protecting against that, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control.
Right.
But that's the way I understand the Bloods and the Crips. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that knows gang culture.
I don't. I've never been in the gang. So I don't have any history. Oh, okay, wait, hold up. Number 43, do you have this gang culture situation go down?
No comment. It sounds like you plead the fifth.
So anyway, as I said, across any occupation, there are going to be people who are out for themselves, who do not necessarily have your best interest at heart. And that is not a black thing or a white thing or an Indian thing or an Asian thing or a Mexican thing. It is that person. So,
however,
patronage of black businesses, please, let's not yield to the stereotype.
Okay. What were you going to say,
But
Becky?
there is a perception,
right,
that the Asian community supports itself.
The Jewish community?
They
Jewish
do.
community
That's not
supports
perception.
itself.
That's real. That's reality.
So why isn't it the same story for black people?
Because they were never pitted against each
Exactly.
other.
And that's what I was going to say. We've been programmed, and I use that term kind of loosely, but not.
No,
but
you should use it exactly as you're saying it. We've been
programmed for me not to worry about what Johnny and Bill and Robbie and them are doing down the street. I need to worry about what number 43 is doing so I can make sure I'm living better than him. So if he comes out the house with some new J's, you know what? I need to get the next pair. If he comes out the house with new Nike sweatpants, okay, I need to one up that. I need to get the Gucci sweatpants.
That's correct.
I need to be better than number 43. All while Robbie and Jimmy and all them are wearing Wranglers from Walmart, laughing at us like, look at these dumb niggas.
Right.
They trying to outdo each other and can't afford the shit. And then you got these brands like Gucci coming out with the blackface sweater, Burberry with the noose, the black outrage.
Look
marketing.
at what the racist people wear.
Yeah,
Look at what the rich folks wear, man.
they wear
You
Wranglers.
don't be designing and stuff like that.
Nah, they go to Walmart and they get the Walmart special, the members mark, the Sam's Club
That's
jeans.
correct. That is
Shit.
correct.
So 100%. But as far as black businesses, I'll just close with this. I do support black businesses. 100%. I do. And I can tell you guys that we mentioned in a previous episode, our pest control company, black business.
Yep.
I trust them to keep the termites away. Now
But you do your own precautions too.
yeah,
Extra
I go check his work now. But
No, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I understand because I've had experiences patronizing black businesses, but that does not stop me from I give everybody a chance. You bite me one time and that's a wrap, because unless I'm in the mood to be bitten, but
don't nobody need to hear all that.
That's another thing. But as I said, I'll give anybody a chance, and I have. And if you're doing right by me, if you are doing what I think you should be doing as far as me as a customer, doing right by your customers, I'll roll with you 100%. But at the point you try to wait, hold up, man, let me start. No.
Like Handiman and his AC dude?
Exactly right. I cannot condone that, and I will not patronize your business. And I will tell people, man, look, because I want to be honest. I don't want the next person to be victimized.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's with any business. That's black business, as I said, Asian business. There are some Chinese places where I will not go into.
Oh, fuck yeah. Them little corner stores like the one in Woodmere. I don't fuck with Mr. Tom over there.
Because they treat you like dirt, but
Like
they're in your community.
They're the only place in your community. Yes.
And they're gathering your dollars.
And then sending it to their relatives
wherever.
Who then move into other.
Right. So it's like, the thing is, but that's the thing that I try to get people to see. This person is treating you as if you're subhuman.
Right.
They're not treating you with respect. Why would you spend your money? I am, and I've said this in previous shows, I've walked into a restaurant and been treated a certain kind of way, spoken to a manager and never stepped foot in that restaurant again. The thing is, do not look at the color of my skin and presume to know exactly what kind of tipper I'm going to be. What I'm going to order, just what kind of patron I'm going to be, period. Don't look at me like that, because people who know me know. I'm in a restaurant and you've given me the service that I feel like you should give me. You come out there with a knot in a wop. Believe that, because I believe in rewarding people for doing their jobs well.
Where my reward at?
I can't reward you.
So let me say this, right? Like I said, I mentioned our best pest control company, right?
Right.
There are numerous podcasters out here, right? And I mean, podcasting is, I consider it a business. I can probably call, I'm not going to name them all, but I can probably name about 6 or 7 of them that I've bought tickets from to go to their live shows that I had no intention on going. I'm just supporting y'all brothers and sisters.
That's right.
I bought merchandise from some of these podcasters with no intention on actually wearing it.
Right.
But I'm just trying to support you brothers and sisters out here. And all of these are black podcasts, and you guys know who you are, but I'm not gonna name them because I think that might be kind of tacky. But there's also, who's the black man? The black man. The black man that does my auto work.
Yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yourself?
No, I have no problem, but I will make fun of your name. And I don't care. Ann can sit here and act like she all high and mighty and she's above a good joke.
I am not. That's one thing. Once again, anybody who knows me, I'm not above a good joke.
So, Dr. Shakeita, you find no humor in that?
No, I don't find humor in that.
Okay, here's the humor. Our coworker who goes to this doctor had an appointment at 11 a.m.
Here you go.
At 11 a.m.
I do
and
that.
we all said, damn, that's kind of late for a doctor's appointment. Well, that's the earliest time she had available.
Oh.
Why Dr. Shakeita ain't see it about 12:30?
And that's because you know what doctors' offices do.
Hair in the back.
See, they stack appointments because if X, Y, and Z cancels, then I have this block of time that's wasted. So they will stack appointments. And
that's
if everybody,
a practice that needs to stop.
and if
does.
every doctor does it.
Yeah.
Becky, some of your
Every
experiences
doctor
with
does it.
getting your hair done over the years, how have they been? Because of course those are black businesses, right?
Yeah. And it's never regular. It's never consistent. So, I'll have an appointment early in the morning. My head isn't touched until almost lunchtime. Sometimes.
And I can tell you that is true, but that is not every stylist. There are some stylists, if your appointment is at 9:00, you're in the chair at 9:00 and you're out at a decent time.
Absolutely. And that's something I want to offer to the people is be where you're going, be where you say you're going to be at that time. Right. If it's going to be 9:00, like don't make commitments that you can't keep.
Right.
If your appointment is for 9:00 at 9:00,
At 9:00.
at 9:00 in the morning, and you know you're not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. I can't meet anybody before 11 a.m.
Unless they got some something for you.
And even at 11 a.m., I'm still kind of
That dude don't wake up until 1:00.
Yeah, I push everything I do to the afternoon, evening, night. Like recently, I just moved an entire server off of a network onto another. I did that at 2:00 in the morning on a Saturday. I didn't even clock in for that now that I'm thinking about it. But be where you're going to be. Be where you say you're going to be at that time. Be early and expect to wait. Because you know what? Sometimes you got to wait on the money. Because the money, that's what you're after, right?
That's right. And you are providing a service. And that's something else that I say all the time. If you're in a service industry, word of mouth is a beast. And
it's even worse with social media now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So anything that you do will be blown up times 1,000. So as Dan said, be consistent. And I recently had the opportunity to teach a class, and I was talking to the people in the class about legitimizing their businesses. That's something else that we in the Black community, we don't tend to do because we don't want the government tracking our money, and we don't want to pay taxes on this money, and we don't want to do. But you know what? Bonded, licensed, insured is a real thing. If you want someone to see you as a legitimate business owner, legitimize yourself. And so that's another reason why sometimes I don't patronize Black businesses, because if I need a service that is required, like if I need a service on my home, I want somebody that's bonded and insured, because being a lawyer, I know that if you come into my house and work on my house and you get injured in my house, I can be held liable for that. And sometimes my homeowner's insurance will not pay, and now my assets are in jeopardy.
Because the person wasn't licensed.
Right, because they weren't licensed, because they didn't have insurance. So let me tell you right now, when anybody that comes to do work in my house, I am researching, I'm going through Better Business Bureau, I'm looking on the Secretary of State's website, I'm calling the insurance commissioner to make sure that they have everything that they need to have before you step foot on my property. Because if one of your workers falls off my roof, workers' comp is going to pay for that.
Yo, that shit will be sick to catch that shit on camera, because I played in slow-mo. Be like, look at this dumb motherfucker falling off the roof. So let me say this too. Your name, right? Like, would I trust you? I think I've employed your legal services here and there a couple of times. But if I were going through Yellow Pages and it's Morris Bart and Ann's whole name, man, I'm rolling with Morris.
I'm sure.
I'm rolling with Morris.
But you know what? That harkens back to a show that we did about employment, remember? And we talked about
name on the resume.
Names on resumes and what we do or what people do. And trust me, I believe that you should name your child anything that you want to name your child. But at the point where you're naming your child King, or you're naming your child Assalamu Alaikum.
Or Jihad. That was the one I brought up. My homegirl named her son Jihad.
Right. You are literally setting your children up. If you, yes, Jihad. No, seriously, you are setting your children up, because if you do not plan, and here's the thing, I'm all about you naming your child what you want. Homegirl Gwyneth Paltrow named her child Apple. Beyonce named her child Blue Ivy. Kanye just named his latest child Psalm. And the one before that was North. And then what?
Rich people can do shit like that.
Exactly. And that's my point. Unless you are creating generational wealth right now, where your children will be running the business that you've created, and that's a viable business that will go into perpetuity, stop setting your children up like that. I might catch a lot of heat from this, but I am dead serious. Stop doing that, because all you're doing, you're setting them up to be looked at a certain way in society. And even though
easily discriminating
against, even though it's wrong, we know that it is true. So don't set your children up like that.
Are you, just to summarize, are you saying that we should assimilate into European culture?
I'm not saying assimilation, but this is what I'm saying. My name is a perfectly good name to have.
For you.
There's a lot of me out there, with variations.
Yeah, you need a damn jacket or some shit on.
With variations of my name. So, yeah. But things like Jihad, you know what I'm saying? Things like
at some point, your name was Jihad. At some point. It might have been 70 years ago.
What? Nah, because my name has been popular on the African.
Can I add to that statement?
I'm sorry?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, what I feel like she's trying to say, or I'm adding to it, is when you conceive a child, right? You have to also think about that child's future when you're naming the child. Like, when you name your child, you're basically giving your child their resume, like adding to their resume, because not only will they get judged off of, their likeness and the things and the attributes that they have, or the traits that they may carry leading up to that job or that position, but also the likeliness of their personality and who they are. Like, as far as them being named a certain thing, people form different distinct opinions about different stuff based off of influences by society or through society, and just off of their own beliefs. And if they don't feel like you may have all the qualifications in the world, but if they don't like, they can just not hire you just off the strength of your name, or certain things like, oh, they're black, they have other qualifications we need, but that name just won't fit in our system. Like we don't like that, how that looks.
Right.
So
Managing partner, for instance.
yeah.
Like if you had managing partner Jamal Washington, like you like, nah, bruh.
Ain't nothing wrong with Jamal, man.
No, there's nothing wrong. I'm adding on, and
yeah.
I'm agreeing with what number 43 said.
Right.
So, and another thing too is, and it's a good point I think he brought up, is if your name is Jamal, right? Now you coming up blank slate, you know nothing, right? Your parents may even raise you to the best of their ability. They give you all the knowledge you need, but society also has
certain concept.
Stereotypes.
That this is what Jamals do. And you can start to take on those attributes because it's what's expected of you. It's almost like when, and I hate when parents do this shit, when they say, oh yeah, my kid's bad. The kid sitting right there and can hear you.
Oh,
my kid's bad. Yeah, they bad. He just bad, little bad. And then he grows up thinking that that's all he is. It's bad. And I can tell you, my mama used to get on the phone and call my grandmother, call her sisters, and say all the bad shit that I did. And it was a lot. But she would be on that phone. You're never going to believe what he did this time. I never once heard her pick up the phone and say, yo, he made the honor roll. Yo, he perfect attendance. Yo, he won the science fair. Yo, he got MVP. Yo, he's playing AAU. Like, none of that shit. It's just all the bad shit that I did.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's basically what
exactly.
it is. And that goes back to, we say it, but can we implicate that in our training? No.
See, that's staying in there, right?
It is not.
Man, it's on video, son. This is video.
Anyway, words have power.
Absolutely.
That is what I've heard all my life. Words have power.
And they do.
And honestly, going back to the Bible,
here we go.
The word says, you shall have whatsoever you say. So words literally, and it also says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Words literally have power. So adding on to what Dan says,
I got
stop
herpes on my
calling
hands.
your children bad, because what you're doing is projecting that unto them. And as he said, when they turn out bad, thank yourself. Don't look at them and go, I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what happened. You happened to them. Words have meaning, people. Stop.
Absolutely. And to wrap it up, I am going to say, support black businesses. I will try to support more black businesses. However, if I can get a similar comparable product for cheaper, I like to keep money in my pockets.
Yeah, that's
so
one
I'm gonna
thing.
need y'all to be competitive.
It's about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
About the money.
It is. So closing thoughts, Becky?
Support black business.
She was about to say no. I said closing thoughts. She said, Becky, you don't talk as much as you used to.
That's crazy. All right, number 43.
43.
Closing thoughts.
Like I said, I just feel like, support black businesses, but make sure you do your research first, because they'll try, some people are good and they'll help you out, just on the strength of who you are. And others, they'll, try to get over on you. And that's the sad part about it.
True.
What has your experience been?
I've been helped more than
you've been hurt.
More than I've been hurt. A lot of people want to help me because of the position I'm in, and they just want to see me do great things. So I've never really had a bad experience on the within the black community, and going through things with dealing with black businesses. I personally, like to go out there and advertise and do different things to try to help the Black community and Black businesses. So I support them.
I have a question for you, right? So you say there's a lot of people that are trying to help you because of the position you're in.
Yeah.
Now, how do you discern whether or not they're helping you out of the goodness of their heart or saying this young boy is a professional athlete and if I help him now, he's going to turn around when he gets that big paycheck and help me?
Because a lot of those people come to me, with open arms, and I mean, so with the other people that would try to get over on me and hope. But I mean, it's just I really can't tell, but you can tell if you know what I mean. Like basically what I'm trying to say is like you can't really tell, right off the bat, but you can genuinely tell if somebody really cares about you and really wants to help, just by the passion and how passionate they talk. My father, he's kind of raised me to be able to see through all of that, and I guess he saw what I didn't see when I was younger, and he prepared me for things like that. So, I mean, even if that is the case, I mean, still, I have a big heart and I still would help, but I mean, I would just hope that they would just be honest from the get go.
Yeah, because his dad works for the CIA, and we all about that body language and reading body language and mind control.
How many people he killed? He didn't tell us when he was that his pops was here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And we didn't talk much about his job.
No, we didn't.
Man, I bet you he got some bodies. He probably got some bodies. This has been another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies. Again, we appreciate every single listen we get. If you enjoy the show, like, rate, subscribe, leave a review. Straight up. You can catch us on all platforms at Black Law Podcast, and you can find me at I Am Dan on Drugs on Twitter and IG, and over at A Few Screws Loose, the podcast.
All right, and my name's
I'm gonna sing some Anita Baker to y'all.
Wait, what? No, man. And I'm just Ann, and you can follow me at I Tell Legal Lies on Twitter.
And this is Afro Becky, and I'd like to take time to thank number 43 for joining us
43.
on today's show.
Follow me on Instagram at
Dude, you just look. You were here under the guise of anonymity, and now you just blew your whole cover, dude.
Fuck it, follow him. Follow him on IG. Peace out.
Do what you doing with the razor blade.